Good morning, One Life. Glad you took time out of your busy Monday morning schedule to join us for our weekly conference call. Purpose of this call is to stay plugged in, keep caught up on what the happenings at One Life are. You can do that a number of ways, and I'll cover that shortly, but this is one of our most popular ways is to take 30 minutes out of your Monday morning schedule, hear what's going on in One Life and what our guest speakers have to say. You are all muted and will be muted until the question and answer portion of our call, which comes closer to the end after Mr. Moore speaks today. But we're going to start off our call this morning with Mr. KT Tyler, kicking us off with a devotion. And KT is a One Life manager and has been for quite some time now. KT is a fantastic guy. He's a division manager for One Life. He has an infectious, positive personality. He's that kind of person that you just want to surround yourself with. And he's going to kick us off this morning with a devotion. Last week we had our leadership summit, and unfortunately I didn't get to spend as much time with KT as I wanted to, but I was trying to carve out some time to spend with KT, and we all were, because he's just that kind of guy. He's a guy that you want to be with and to surround yourself with. KT, are you on the call this morning?
I am, sir.
All right, KT, appreciate you joining us, and the devotion is all yours.
Okay, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Today is Monday the 13th, 2014. Hope your Monday is going to start off with a bang, and I have some good stuff to share with you on this morning. So the title of the devotion this morning is Jesus Believed in His Product. Jesus believed in His product. Proverbs 27:23 says, "Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds." Doubt is deadly. Have you ever walked into a room and felt anger in the atmosphere? Have you ever walked into a room and felt love and energy and excitement? Of course. Your thoughts have presence. They are like currents moving through the air. Those thoughts are capable of drawing people toward us or driving people away from us. Your attitude is always sin. You will never succeed in any business unless you really believe in that business. You must believe in the product that you are promoting. Your doubts will eventually surface. Look at the life of Jesus. He believed he could change people. He believed that his product would satisfy people. Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of this water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. John 4:13-14. What makes you believe in your product? Product knowledge. His product was life. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and kill and to destroy. I cometh that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. John 10:10. Here's a wisdom principle. Whatever you have been given, it is what someone else needs. He saw the damaged products. He knew that he was their connection for repair. Nobody could take his place, and he knew it. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. You must take the time and make the effort to know your product. It will bore you. It may bore you or even seem unnecessary. You may be anxious to sell your product, pocket the profit, and get on with life. But success just does not happen that way. A lawyer must study his new laws. A doctor must keep well-rounded on the latest journals concerning the body and new diseases. A policeman has to study his weapons, the laws of the community, his rights, and the mindset of criminals. If he does not study this, he knows he is a dead man in the street. His life is on the line. Don't expect to succeed unless you are thoroughly informed about your product. Are you discouraged by your present job? Are you feeling a bit hopeless? Then I suggest that you ask yourself some real soul-searching and honest questions. How much time have you spent cultivating an awareness of your business? Do you use your product? How many hours each day have you intended? How many hours each day have you invested in becoming informed? Are you so busy trying to make a buck that you really have not developed a powerful understanding and confidence in what you're doing? Jesus was very busy. He was teaching, preaching, traveling, performing miracles, and mentoring the unlearned. But he always took time to get along with his Father and renew his understanding of his purpose, his plan, and his product. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Jesus believed in his product. That's today's devotional. Now I'm going to do a prayer, and then we're going to get on with the rest of the call. Let's look to the Lord. Father God, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for this opportunity for us to be in your presence. We thank you for touching us one more time to awaken to another journey to which we are not aware of, but you are the guiding factor for our journey. We thank you for this morning call on every Monday morning to get us started with our week. And we thank you for the awesome knowledge that we're able to gain through our experience in life. So we ask all the things that we're about to endeavor in this week that we have to come to pass as agents, that you will help us, Lord, help us to overcome the obstacles that we may face, the people that may not be home, the people that may not have whatever it is that they need for us to progress and be successful, that we will have the right mindset, we will remain positive, and all we do, we will continually learn and know our product, and we will continue to have you in our life, and we'll continue to walk with you, and we ask that you put people, places, and things in our path and in our journey that help us to see to the next level in life. We thank you with all these things, and we ask that we will go out and help a person every day. That is our goal in life, and we ask that you will have us incorporate in our system and our well-being, that we will go out and help a person every day, because that is the call on our lives, to help people and help one another. As you said, iron sharpens iron, so I thank you for this opportunity that you have given me to share with the people, and we love you, and we know you're the head of our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much, KT. Appreciate the devotion. It's we need to be reminded to know the Bible, and that's something I struggle with daily. Is one way we can know that product or know our faith better is to pick up the Bible and to spend time in it. But it's something we need to carve out time to do that as well. Thank you again, KT. Appreciate you joining us for our devotion this morning. Real quickly, I want to spin through a few marketing updates. First of all, production update. This is for week of 9/29 through 10/3. As a One Life organization, we've submitted $538,132.56 of annualized premium. Agent of the week for that week was Keith Reel at $24,881 of submitted annual premium. Have a very positive trend taking place in our production reports, which is new agents coming on board, agents jumping up in the top 10. And if I apologize in advance if I mispronounce a name. Some of you have not met yet. But number 1 was Keith Reel. Number 2, Robin Cano, $20,509 of submitted annual premium. Number 3, Richard Johnson, $10,307 of submitted annual premium. Number 4, William Jackal at $10,145 of submitted annual premium. Jose Gonzalez in number 5th spot with $10,132 of submitted annual premium. Number 6, Ron Reed out of Meridian, $9,959 of submitted annual premium. Number 7, Scott Shaddy, $9,173. Brandon Smotherman in 8th place at $9,156 submitted premium. Weil Yangham at $8,782 of submitted premium in 9th, and number 10, Gregory McIntyre with $8,452 of submitted annual premium. Fantastic job to everyone for their efforts. That was Top Gun production as well, the final week of the Top Gun contest, and the results from that, top 5 spots. Miss Robin Cano, she captured the number 1 spot with 2 weeks of production totaling $34,263.48 of submitted annual premiums. That is 2 weeks, folks. Number 2 was Keith Reel at $34,125. KT Tyler, who just did the devotion, $33,242. If you don't do the math real quick, That is just over $1,000 of submitted annual premium that separated first through third place. Jose Gonzalez was in at number 4 spot, $22,000, and Brandon Smotherman was $22,000. Jose was $22,612, and Brandon Smotherman was at $22,431. Fantastic job during our Top Gun contest to make it very, very successful. A lot of good premium written during that 2-week production period. I want to cover just a few other things real quick. Last week we had the blessing of having the Academy and the Leadership Summit taking place simultaneously here in Meridian. Had 45 or so new agents in the Academy and roughly 65 of our top managers and leaders from around the country in for our Leadership Summit. I believe Derrick's going to highlight a few things here shortly on the Leadership Summit, and what an event. I mean, the electricity was in the air. We had a phenomenal time with both events, and everyone left with a new pep in their step. Social media efforts, please plug into YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, so our Facebook page. Just stay plugged in. You can also receive all our tweets as text by texting to the phone number 40404. It's only 5 numbers, 40404. You'll text in the body, follow One Life America, ONELIFEAMERICA, all lowercase and together, no spaces. So that's a real good way to stay plugged in. Be on the lookout in the next couple days for podcast instructions for Derrick Moore's podcasts that are starting to launch. We've got one available out there. We should have another out in the next day or so. And I'm going to send instructions of how you can subscribe to that podcast and get those as alerts on your phone. Smartphones, there's an icon that you can download, an app you can download for podcasts and actually subscribe direct to it. So they're right there on your phone. No need to go to the internet. If you're driving down the road, you want to listen to one of Derrick's podcasts, you can mash play and start it going there. Our featured guest today is Derrick Moore, and we're excited to have him on the call. I'm looking here for his number to unmute him as I'm talking. I want to give Derrick a proper introduction. Derrick really needs no introduction. If you've been around One Life over the past 30 days, you've been in front of or heard of or seen Derrick Moore. He serves One Life started with One Life as our Stockbridge call center manager in Georgia. Now serves as our Director of Leadership Development. Derrick spent 7 years with a very successful career as a running back in the National Football League, played for several teams, ran beside the great and with the greatest in that industry. He was the host for our Leadership Summit last week and did a phenomenal job of putting together our speakers and having everybody lined up and ready. And I'll tell you this, if you must be living under a rock if you haven't seen his Georgia Tech YouTube video that surfaced 5 days ago. This was his pregame locker room speech for the Yellow Jackets before they went out and defeated Miami. And this video in 5 days has over 230,000 unique views. You got to go see it. The way I find it is I Google Georgia Tech football Derrick Moore, and it's on there, and it is just a phenomenal video. But anyway, without further ado, my good friend Derrick Moore. Derrick, are you with us on the call today?
I certainly am, David. Am I coming through clearly?
Absolutely, my friend. Take it away.
Excellent. Good morning, agents. It's a real honor to be on the call here this Monday morning. Of course, it's very, very exciting for me. This is an exciting day for me. Today is my birthday, by the way. So I'm the young old age of 47. So I'm excited to say the least. This is one of the greatest days and absolutely the greatest day in my life. So I'm thrilled to be on the call, and I do want to extend my thank yous to KT for just an exceptional devotional, and I certainly took some keynotes there. KT, as I'll go back in my own quiet time and revisit this devotion at a pace in which I can really extract from it that will help me be a better individual. I certainly want to thank David and certainly our company for hosting these conference calls. They are paramount in our continuous development of our leaders and certainly staying plugged into the incredible agents we have that are all around this country. And so I'm very grateful and very thankful to be a part of the team. And so, David, thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this week's call. I also want to extend my congratulations to our top agents of the week, of course, Mr. Real and Robin, and certainly there are several others that David went down that pretty impressive list of incredible producers that we have within the context of this company. And so I do want to extend my congratulations to all of you that's on that list. Certainly it's greatly appreciated on behalf of the entire company. I will say that, as David mentioned, what an incredible time we had at the conference there in Meridian, where, as David mentioned, some 60-plus leaders and managers were participating in this year's summit, of course, in conjunction with the Academy, that as we really brought those two things together, and boy, I think it was a first-time effort to do so, and Scotty and Scott and all those, David and all of our executive team that played a major role in the logistics of making it possible. I extend my appreciation to all of those involved in it. And certainly the takeaways from the conference, it's really endless, to be completely honest with you. We were to be on this call for the next 30 days. We probably could not cover it all. It was that incredible of the presenters, the organization of the meeting, and then the incredible takeaways that we all are still eating upon right now. I was actually up this morning revisiting my leadership book that one of our most incredible guests, Mr. Bill Buckley and Tyson Lee, who are just unbelievable partners with One Life, have done much work in the past with our company, and they were a couple of our featured speakers. And what I like to do just in brief this morning is just really, without taking up a lot of our time, really just talk about one thing that really jumped off the pages for me. There were several things, and I'll do an injustice thinking that I really can find one thing that would really resonate this morning, but I had to be very selective and certainly honor our time. But, if you're on the call this morning, Bill Buckley really captured for us some things that, you can't be better. It's impossible not to be better, should I say, as a result of the information we received at this year's conference. And so we'll be obviously making certain that at your leisure you'll have access to quite a bit of the data and the information that's taken place at the conference. So I just want to leave you with this one takeaway that really I thought was challenging and encouraging and inspiring. It was from his leadership booklet called The Right to Lead. And actually, I'm going to be doing my podcast series, my very first podcast series, from some of the data in that booklet. So obviously, please be tuning in for those podcast series as it's guaranteed to be pretty exciting. But in his book, The Right to Lead, The Privilege and Responsibility of Leadership, Bill Buckley, it's written, and it's just one of the most fabulous pieces of literature you can collect. And you can go to any store, and you won't find a more rich documentation of information on leadership in the country. He's truly put together a masterpiece. But he left us with this entity called the Path to Greatness. We're all on career paths, and we're constantly developing and growing and pursuing our sales goals and certainly our personal objectives. And Bill challenged us with who we are. And I thought it was absolutely apropos. As he mentioned, there were 6 types of people that's on the path. And if there was a certain path that you want to get on, the question is, what path are you on? And do you need to get on a path that's more conducive to being the type of agent that represents not only you, but the people you associate with, but your organization as well? And Bill gave us 6. And the first one was called owner, O-W-N-E-R. And he says this is the highest level of commitment. The owner is bought in totally to the team vision and goals. And this person trains, competes, and prepares at the maximum level. He always or she always holds him or herself and the teammates to a higher standard, and they lead from way out front. That's an owner. And I'll let you elaborate on that down the road. The second type is a worker. This is the committed level. A person here willingly goes the extra mile in order to reach team goals. He or she is self-motivated and doesn't have to always have somebody looking over his or her shoulder. Wow, what a type that is, a worker. Then he said there's a third type called the employee. He will do or she will do what is told to do by those around them. He does enough to meet the standard set up by leadership, but he is not willing to do anything extra. So the employee is just someone that, is not willing to really to go the extra mile, but they will do enough to get certain things accomplished. And then there's the wannabe. This is somebody who wears the uniform, but he gives little more than his presence. He is not interested in team goals. He looks like he is in, but he isn't. His attitude is neither good nor bad. This is the wannabe. And then there's the fence sitter. And this person is not willing to buy into the common goal. He is half-hearted in his efforts. He takes a wait-and-see attitude. He is one day and out the next day. He is a constant negative drain on the team. That's a fence sitter. And then lastly, he gave us the rebel. This person doesn't want to be led by anybody. He is caught up in his own view of things and does not agree with or care about team goals and rules. He pulls in the opposite direction from where the team is going. And then he left us with 4 questions. At what level do you see yourself right now on this scale? An owner, a worker, an employee, a wannabe, a fence sitter, or a rebel? That's the first question. The second, where do you think you as agents and teammates would put yourself? And then nextly, at what level would you put yourself as an agent? And then what needs to change to move yourself and even your team toward being the owner that is on the path to greatness? I just thought that this little excerption from Bill's presentation was categorically incredible, because we all are somewhere on that path as we are walking down this road to production, to sales experiences, to opportunities, to personal development, to professional development. We're all somewhere on that path. It reminds me of an old saying that you're either, coming out of a storm, in a storm, or walking into one. And I believe we all are somewhere on this path of greatness. And the question beckons, where am I on the path? Am I an owner? Am I a worker? Am I an employee? Am I a wannabe? Am I a fence sitter? Or am I a rebel? Agents, I can tell you, it's an inexhaustible list of experiences that we had at the conference. And I won't get through it all in really a year's time. I'm going to take my time and digest it and further be challenged, inspired to further become a better business person, become a better person as a result of this summit and this conference. And I encourage you to do the same. I look forward to seeing you each Monday on my the website with Derrick Moore and One Life/Derrick Moore. You can also go to the One Life website to plug into the podcast series, obviously the Moore's Motivational Mondays, and all of the various inspirational features that are captured on the site. It's just a neat way to stay in touch with all of our agents. You stay in touch with me as well as we go down the road to success and stay on the path of greatness. I do want to thank you, David, and everyone that's on the conference call this morning, and continued success, and continue to look forward to all the neat things we'll be unveiling and revealing as we go down the path with One Life together. Thank you very much.
Wow, Derrick, I appreciate you. I don't want you to leave us just yet. First, I want to say happy birthday from everyone at One Life. Glad you're celebrating the day, and I hope you have some family time in store at some point in time today. I'm going to open up the lines right now. 1 second. You can unmute yourself by pressing *6 if you have a question for Derrick while we have him on the phone this morning. *6 will unmute your line and fire away with questions at Derrick. And if nobody else has questions, I do. Derrick, I'm going to ask a question while those are contemplating what they would like to ask you. You read through that list, and I've heard it several times of when you really give yourself a gut check, where do you fall on that list? What steps are necessary if you find yourself anything other than an owner? What do you need to do personally or as a team to move yourself from any of those other listings? Hopefully no one on the call of the company is the rebel. There's a lot of those levels in there that maybe takes a little extra effort to move up. But if you're not an owner, Derrick, where do we need to start to move ourselves into that place? I believe we've dropped Derrick, and I apologize for that. I tell you, one thing I want you to watch for is over the next few weeks, I want you to watch for videos from the Leadership Summit. All of this that Derrick recapped there is going to be available. And I'm sorry, I tell you what, I think I've accidentally muted Derrick's line. 1 second. Derrick, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me, David?
Yes, that's my fault, good friend. I apologize. I just muted you right out there. Did you hear my question about moving from anything other than an owner to the owner position?
I certainly did, and I was in the middle of answering it, and I can continue if you want.
Please do.
Well, I think, it's amazing. If you find yourself anything less than an owner on this list, I certainly think that what can one do to get on that path? I think it was really provided by us at the Leadership Summit. Once again, just an incredible couple of 2-3 days. And I think it was a great poem that Lee Maury read for us called The Man in the Mirror. And it's an unbelievable piece, and certainly if you get a chance to go online and certainly Google that poem, because I think the answer is to be honest with oneself, to be true to thyself, and really do a self-assessment on where am I on this list. And if I look in the mirror, that's the person that I can never fool. That's the person that I can never cheat. That's the person that I can never find myself ahead of, because the person in the mirror stares back into our very soul even and really challenges us with who we really are and what we're really doing to move further and further to the goals that we have placed not only within ourselves, but within the context of the company. So I would be encouraged if you would go and research that poem called The Man in the Mirror. It's a fascinating piece that really starts us on the path to greatness by doing a personal self-assessment and not accepting that I'm not an owner, not accepting that, I'm less than what my very best can be, but I want to be the very best at everything that I do, and I want to challenge myself to do that. So I honestly believe, David, the answer to that question can truly be captured in what Lee read at that summit on The Man in the Mirror.
Fantastic. Any other questions for Derrick? Derrick, I've got one final question for you, and we'll let you get about your birthday. Leadership in general, that's your main focus with One Life is helping guide our leaders, helping counsel those, and helping events like the Leadership Summit itself. As far as just leadership in general, if there's someone who's thinking, you know what, I think I'm a leader, I'd like to be a leader, I'm not sure if I have the characteristics of a leader, is that something that you can train yourself? Does it have to be born into you? What do you need to see to recognize that I have leadership potential? Is it a mindset? What's your take on that?
I think it really starts with, it's not a talent level or a certain skill set that I think ultimately defines classical leadership, but I think leadership can start with two things. Am I a responsible individual, and am I an accountable individual? Because if leadership is nothing else, David, it is responsibility and accountability. And any individual that considers themselves to be responsible and accountable is fit to lead. And anyone that's not responsible and accountable isn't fit to lead. And so leadership styles vary, leadership implementations vary, But the absolute key ingredient to leadership, David, is one's ability to be responsible and accountable. And if that's you, then you have the right to lead.
Fantastic. Accountability and responsibility. Those are the two first steps, if you will, to being and becoming and recognizing leadership skills. Well, Derrick, I appreciate you being on the call this morning. As always, we thank you very much. If you hadn't seen this Georgia Tech YouTube video, you've got to go check it out. If you want to get fired up and run through a brick wall this morning, go find that video online. Do watch for our videos and pictures from the Leadership Summit on our social media and by email. Be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Thank you all for taking your time again, and have a great day.